Was there the replay froze and wouldn't let me leave, so I had to do a bit of a application reset, and we'll jump straight into the footage from the Formula Rookie. Formula Rookie cars, you get to use them very early on in the career game, so quite a few drivers have the experience of driving these. Very similar to the Ginetta GT5s, that you get to try and maximise the amount of speed as you can through stories, and very, very limited aero. As you can see, there's no wings on these cars, and open wheel as well, so with damage on can become a bit of a tragedy for suspension and tyres. As we have 9 drivers on this random grid. Lord of Lincoln, he takes the pole and the random grid order. Inter, very lucky tonight, he takes a second place. Wayne takes in third. There's Ice Dude, he's in the green and white livery. As mentioned before in the previous race, Sam Thumfinger, teammates are Inter, he's there, he sits in fifth. Ambient Stubb, Lord of Lincoln's teammates in sixth. Mikey 8ball, he's in 7th, his teammate in 4th. Nathbit takes the 8th place, and Jeff Spencer in the black. It's a really nice livery, tiger livery at the back of the grid there. So let's see what happened in the Formula Rookie. We'll change to all cameras here. Let's have a nice look about what happened in this race. So we're watching on board here with Lord of Lincoln. Off the line he goes. Inter seems to have got a bit of a better line. Yeah, he's got a better drive off the corner here, coming into turn 1. As we watch for the cameras pan round, these cars do look fantastic on these replays. As is that one of the black and yellow cars running wide? That's Sam Thumfinger running wide there, coming into turn 1, and all the other drivers are away nice and clean off the grid. No issues so far as we come around the left hand kink. Inter lead Lord of Lincoln, who's in front of his teammate Ambient in third, with 8ball behind. A little bit of a nudge at the moment there as Mikey gets spun around. That's let Nathbit through to 4th, and it's the 2 teammates in 5th and 6th. Jeff's got up from the back of the grid to 7th, and there's a moment for Wayne as he's dropped down into 9th. As watching on board, Ambient Stubb following his teammates around the final corner. The race 2 here, the Formula Rookies. No team orders between these guys. They like to have the racing as fluid as possible. Not using a slipstream either. There's Ambient Stubb taking a look on the inside. Does he have the move done coming into turn 1? Very shallow line coming in, hits the apex. Will Lord of Lincoln come back on the exit? No, he won't. He's too far behind. But he's right under pressure now from Nathbit, who's following these guys through. Nathbit taking a look on the inside, thinks better off it. That's both drivers there running a little bit wide on exit. Mikey here takes a move, looks on the inside, very late on the brakes, and gets the move done a little bit sideways as he puts the power on over the curb, and the roof is stuck. As we watch these drivers coming through the series of S's. Inter out front, he's checked out, he's 3 seconds ahead, 2.5 seconds up, but Ambient is starting to close up, and then there's a trail of cars behind. In 3rd, 4th and 5th and 6th are all split by 2 seconds. Jeff Spencer is another second behind. Sam Thumfinger in 8th, and Wayne, who's lost 10 seconds on the last lap, and must have had an instant come round on lap 2 with a slightly slower lap time. I would take Nathbit takes an inside move again. It's a move we saw on the first race. Is Nathbit at fault there, or has the green and white livery of Mikey moved across? Either way, it's let Lord of Lincoln free, and he's now free to try and catch up his teammate. So as we're watching Inter all sorts come out of the series of S's into the final corner, he leads to come onto lap 4. Ambient Stub is 2 seconds behind. He is, yeah, 2 seconds behind Quantum Straight. He's followed by his teammate Lord of Lincoln, both in the red livery. Ice Dude is in 4th with Jeff Spencer, who's having a fantastically good, quiet race here. He's just getting the job done. He's in 5th in the black and blue livery. Nathbit recovering from that moment with 8 Ball. He sits in 6th. Sam Thumbfinger close behind in the black and yellow livery. Wayne is making his way back through the field. Nathan's teammate there in the white and yellow livery. He's coming through as 8 Ball is dealing with a little damage there. Looks like he's really struggling to keep hold of that car. He's going to be coming into the pits for sure. We're watching Ice Dude has had a slowdown or a moment as he took damage. That's Jeff Spencer up into 4th place. He's now being chased by Nathan. I wonder if Ice Dude had an instant there where he's just got off track. He's got slow down penalties and he's dared to them. Very clean racing we like to have here at Fresh Sim Racing. If you have the slow down penalties, we like to respect them as much as possible. We don't want to be seeing the penalties, the race decided by a penalty at the end of the race. We want to make sure if you win the race, you win on track. As we're on to lap 5, 15 seconds separate the drivers in the top 6. Inter leads the second race so far of the series. Taking that, we saw that line in the Ginettas, that nice wide line. Now he's not under pressure from Ambient Stub. Ambient Stub took that line in the Ginetta GT5, but Inter's now using that to really good effect, swinging the car around the Marshall post. He's keeping Ambient at that arm's distance, that 2-second gap, just keeping him a little bit out of slipstream range. Not able to catch up. Lord of Lincoln in 3rd. He's now dropping a little bit behind his teammate. Just trying to get the laps in. Jeff Spencer is in 4th. He's under pressure from Nathbit. Sam's made his way back through the field now into 6th. Ice Dude dropping. He's just not comfortable in these cars, it seems. He's just having a few moments. That's put Wayne up into 8th. As we're watching Jeff Spencer take this coming into turn 1. You see 4 drivers there on the straight. Took it into turn 1. Nice line there, nice wider line from Jeff Spencer, able to carry the speed on Expert. Nathbit taking the shallower line, getting the car turned, getting sideways, but that does compromise mid-corner speed as he puts the power on. He's closing up here, coming down to the hairpin. These cars absolutely fantastic to be watching. The graphics on these cars are really good to behold, and you get to see the suspension working, the tyres working. You can see the difference in speed as you load the car up on the one side of the tyre. It slows down. They're fantastic to drive, and just as amazing to be able to watch. As we're watching Nathbit close up on the back of Jeff Spencer, it is lap 7. Ambient has closed up a good second on the last lap, or half a second on the last lap. Now he's closing in on the current race leader and overall championship leader after the first race. Remember, these drivers are fighting for the overall championship, the sprint race, the club championship, and the individual series. As we're watching a little bit further back, Nathbit's having a look on the inside of Jeff Spencer coming into the hairpin. Has he got the brakes? Locks up on the braking and then mounts the curb on the exit. Will Jeff Spencer fight back? He's got his line compromised up by Nathbit's expert. It's very, very aggressive move there, but a clean move nonetheless. He's now free to hunt down Lord of Lincoln, who's just looking to get his laps done. He's not able to keep up with the pace. In fact, he was 3 seconds down on the front runners on the last lap. Must have had an issue there. Fastest man on track at the moment is the man in 2nd place, who's closed the gap down again to the race leader. Ambient Stub, a very effective driver. It seems these two guys very good in the first two formats. Be interesting to see how they fare in the BMW M1 Pro cars and the Group 4, as that is Wayne getting well out of the way of the leaders, so they're able to keep racing. Great racecraft from Wayne there. Made sure he parked his car well off the racing line to let these two guys through. Then we have the classic open wheeler, the Lotus 25, a bit more power, very fun car to drive, very sideways, and then the even more powerful RS01 to race the season. As Nathbit is back behind, further back, Nathan's back is back behind Jeff Spencer. He must have had a moment there. Jeff's back through as they're coming round onto lap 9. Jeff running a little bit wide on exit, but he gets to carry that speed through the straight, and then Nathbit gets the hopefully gets a slipstream. You see the flames coming out of the rear exhaust there on the up change. Nathbit taking a shallower line into turn 1. Will he be able to get the move done? Not on this time round. We see a little bit of a lockup. Nathbit's all over the back of Jeff Spencer here. Can he get the move done into the left kick? Very tricky to get two cars wide here. Not gonna happen. Jeff Spencer doing well to keep the car on track. Both drivers keeping it right. As Nathbit gets a massive lockup coming into the hairpin and gets sideways on exit for good measure. Fantastic defensive driving here by Wayne, parking his car on the apex, but as he goes into there, he's put too much power on exit, and that's Jeff off track, and that's let Nathbit through into 4th place, free to hunt down Lord Lincoln, who's 3 seconds down the line. As we're watching Ambient Stub, again, you've seen a lot of the back of into all sorts Formula Renault. We saw a lot of the back of the GT5 as well. We saw Ambient take a look on the inside of turn 2 in the GT5, but not able to make the cut and losing his car, but still getting the 2nd place. Will we see something similar in these Formula Rookies? These Formula Rookies are a little bit more fragile than the GT5s. Watch Ambient the car gets a little bit sideways on the change of camber into the corner, and that's give into a little bit of breathing room. And you see the contrast of line between these two drivers. They seem to be very comfortable in these cars. Inter's pulling away on the straights, but now the slipstream effect comes in, and Ambient Stub's able to close up on the back end of the straight, just not close enough, I don't think, to make a move into turn 1. Both drivers getting these cars around the corner nice and smoothly, but Inter's doing all he needs to do to keep Ambient Stub behind. Further back in the field, Nathbit has closed up to the back. We again see Wayne there getting well off the racing line. Jeff Spencer in 5th. Ooh, that's Nathbit taking a rather adventurous trip there to mow the grass. Not the line you want to get. Try and get the car in sideways. It's a very risky move. It can work out. You can gain a lot of speed, but when the car grips like that, you're going to go in the wrong direction very quickly. Sam Thumbfinger is in 6th. He's not, doesn't seem to be comfortable in these cars at the minute. Very adept in the Lotus 25. I was expecting him to be a bit further up the order, but these cars are ever so slightly different. He's followed by Ice Dude in 7th, Wayne in 8th, and 8 Ball in final place after a fair bit of damage of the incident in turn 2. The leaders now coming on to their final lap. These two guys able just to use each other and get a bit of a gap through the field to be able to break away. We're watching the battle between Nathbit and Lord of Lincoln. Lord of Lincoln lapping slightly slower, takes the contrasting line. Nathbit getting a bit wide on exit. Lord of Lincoln is he going to defend? He misses the apex on that left kink, runs wide. This is going to give Nathbit the opportunity for sure. Brakes nice early this time, not making the same mistake he did before. get unlocked up, and the move is done. Can Lord of Lincoln fight back? He can't. Enter all sorts, the winner of race 2 in the Formula Rookies. Ambient Stub takes second. And we see Nathbit and Lord of Lincoln's fighting for the second place. It looks like Nathbit's able to get the gap to Lord of Lincoln. It's going to be third for Nathbit, fourth for Lord of Lincoln. Jeff Spencer, good race for Jeff Spencer. He's in fifth, taking it nice and easy as he comes off the final corner. Sam Thongfinger is coming around the final corner. He's in sixth. Ice Dude, seventh. Wayne in eighth, and Mikey with a not the best race of Mikey with a bit of a pinball race for him. He rounds up the grid. 2 laps down in the end after taking a lot of damage, but he'll be happy to get some time in these Formula Rookies to go on to the next round, which will take place at the Sportsland Sugo track. And that is all the footage we have for the first round of the Fresh Sim Racing Club Sprint Championships. It is unfortunate we wasn't able to get the footage. Something we'll try and get for next week. If you've liked what you've seen, feel free to check the link in the description for our Discord. We'll be testing a new series in the Group A cars around Oschersleben A track. That's going to be a feature race series with 2 sprint races to support it. That's going to be a World Series happening on Friday nights. We have our vintage touring cars on Sunday nights. They're going to be at Silverstone Classic in September. On Sunday we have a special team event. We're going around Bathurst in the V8 supercars and the V6 Renault Meganes. You work as a team in that race. Old school endurance rules. The team with the most laps takes home the points. And Bathurst is a very tricky track to navigate. Anyone who's been around there will certainly know for sure. If you've as mentioned, if you liked anything you've seen, come join us on Discord. Otherwise, keep following us, share the streams, proper like if you liked it, drop us a comment if anything you'd like to see. The club series will be sticking around with us at Fresh Sim Racing. It will change a little bit of format here and there. We'll get different cars in when the season ends. And if there's any cars you'd like to see that you know are on the Project Cars 2 game series, drop us a comment, let us know. Otherwise, it's been a pleasure to have you here. Hopefully we can get you some footage from our special teams event that's happening on Sunday. We'll get that up either live streamed or as a video for you on Monday. Otherwise, we'll see you next time live. Thank you very much for watching.